Hey, Jenny Berg.
Hello, Michael. How you doing today?
It's always great to see you.
To see you as well.
Yeah, I missed you. Goodness. Good to see the bowl back there. I missed Angel. Hey, Angel.
Hi, Michael. Hi,
How are
Jenny.
you?
Hello,
Hi, David.
Angel.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Angel. Hey, Michael.
Hey, David. Haven't seen you in a while either, brother.
It's been a while. How you doing? I'm doing well. Since my video went off there, so there we go.
No problem.
How have you been?
Good, good.
Good.
Everybody's happy. We got Eric Bruce. Hi, Eric. How are you,
Oh,
sir?
how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining.
Great.
Who else we got on here? Jalea. Hey, got you on too, right, Jalea?
Hello. Yes.
No
Yes,
internet
I'm on.
problems.
I've been allowed back in.
Yeah, Jalea was part of the our business academy graduate. We booted her out. We couldn't get her back in like the whole program. It's unbelievable. And I'm in IT, so I know how much that's worth.
We came together before the end, so
That's
I
right.
guess that's what matters.
Hey, Jacqueline. Hey.
Anybody getting a good storm?
Hey, Kim. Anthony.
Yes, the
It's not
storm is
raining
starting
too
up
Hi,
bad.
here.
everybody. Anthony Love.
Hello.
Anthony Lowe, how you doing?
Hi, Mr. Lowe. Like the background.
Thank you.
We got Anthony Ruffin. What's up, Mr. Ruffin?
How are you today, sir? I'm actually just finishing working out. I had to race in and get to it.
Man, you know, that's a beautiful thing when people are racing to come to our events. We appreciate that. Be like Mr. Brown. Hi, Brandon. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing, man?
We just living the dream at Black Achievers, man. Just achieving every day.
I heard that. Get
Mike,
connected.
can you hear me?
Get connected. We got Joel McCauley. How are you, sir?
Hey,
Mike,
good evening,
can you hear
everyone.
me?
Hey, Joel.
Hey, David, good to see you.
Hey, nice to see you too. Thank you.
Got Eve Mays driving. Be careful out there on that road, girl.
It's rough out here. It's rough.
You safe. Oh, we got Andre on here.
Hello, how y'all doing tonight?
Hey, how are you doing, Andre? Say hi,
Good,
everybody.
good.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, brother, what's going on, man?
Hello.
We got a Luke Aliu.
Yep. I'm here, brother. I came on.
Man, if Ali Lou is here, we're gonna have a great night tonight, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thanks
I
for
have
joining.
even calling while I'm driving. Can you believe that?
Man, we appreciate the effort. You stay safe out in them streets, though.
Yeah.
I am, man. I'll be home in a second. So
Okay.
I'm walking to
Hi,
go get a
everyone.
pizza, so I'm on twice. I'll be back and I'll jump on one device.
Oh, no problem. Hey, Sam Moore, how are you, sir?
What's going on, brother Moore? I'm good. How you feeling?
Man, we just waiting on you, man. They were like, start. I was like, we can't start till Sam come on now.
Listen at you.
Appreciate you coming, sir.
All right, man.
Saying with the voice, man, like God speaking to you directly. I mean,
Sam, bring it, don't. Every time I hear him, I just feel good inside. We got Dreamer Thomas. Is that correct?
That is correct. Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Kalani Wallace. Hey, hello.
Hi,
Hey, good to see you. Thanks for coming.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, I see people are shouting out where they're from, so please put those in the chat. Let everybody know where you're from. That'd be great.
Okay.
We have Janice. Hey, Janice. Look like you're on a vacation or something.
Hi, Mr. Moore. Yes, I am on vacation. We're in Hilton Head for the week, but I wouldn't miss this event for the world.
Oh, well, thank you
for
very
having
much.
me.
Yeah. Great. See what we got on this side. Oh, we got Jen here. Jen Ingram is here, guys. That's a celebrity. Hey, Jen, say something.
Hey, Michael, it's good to see you all. Great to be with the Black Achievers community this evening.
Yeah, thanks. We got Erica Kelly. Hey, Erica.
Hello, everyone. Wait, technical difficulties, but hello. How you doing?
Yeah, say hi.
Hi.
Got Janae Broomfield. Where are you sneaking into? I don't see you, can't hear you. What's going on?
I am so sorry. I'm not turning on my camera right now. I'm trying to finish up some other work still for work. So
We know how that goes.
yes.
Hey, my cousin Kelly Williams. Hey, Kelly.
Hello there.
Hey,
How you
good to see
doing?
you. Good, good. Thanks
See
for coming.
you. Of course.
Hey, Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, Mr. Braswell. I saw you're having technical problems.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good, good to see you.
Everybody doing?
Good to see you. Then we got Chuck Putel on here. Man, we winning with Chuck now. Who else we got? Greg Tucker. Hey, Greg. How are you, sir?
Whoa, hi. How are you
Good to
doing
see
there,
you.
Mr. Moore, huh?
Man, I'm trying to get a microphone like you got, brother. What is that? You a singer?
It's 320.
Okay. I only got a 310, so whatever. I don't even know what 320 means, but that's amazing. Who else we got on here? Dave, you admit everybody? Give it one more minute. Wow. Well, thanks everyone for coming. Any more shout outs? So we got Jack Fitzgerald on. Hey, Jack.
Hey, Michael.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Wow, we'll be back in person soon, guys.
Yes.
I won't be able to hide behind the screen no more. Days will be over. All right, Dave, we good?
Think so.
60 people or so. Okay, well, we'll let everybody else in. We're going to go ahead and get started. So I am going to give a little presentation. I know most of you may have seen it, but we have a lot of new people on. So we're going to go ahead and kind of go through that. And then I'm going to turn it over to the great Christopher Bennett. He's going to go through some of our graduates of our latest program and some of the things that we're doing there, which are pretty exciting in the business community. And we'll go ahead and get started. All right, you hear me and see my screen, Dave?
Yes.
All right, we got people in the waiting room. All right, so for those of you who are new to us, we're Black Achievers. We're a professional network. We're the #1 network for Black professionals in the city of Cincinnati and beyond. One of the things we're going to go through today is our agenda. So I'm going to give an update of kind of what we've been doing and where we are. And then Chris Bennett, our Vice President and Executive Director of the Business Acquisition Institute, will give a brief presentation about what we're doing in the entrepreneur space. And then we'll have our breakout session, networking session. So our networking sessions this time are sponsored by Interact for Health and also sponsored by the Hale Foundation. And they're centered around COVID conversations. So we kind of want to discuss your ideas and thoughts on the vaccine, return to work, and some of the hesitancy we see in the Black community. So we should have some robust conversations around those topics, which will be very exciting. And then also exchange information on LinkedIn as well. And make sure you're connected with everybody who is on the call. Next, we'll have ArtsWave. Janice will give a presentation on what's the exciting things that are going on there with their programs. And then we have Leadership Council, Jenny Berg and Jack. They'll give a presentation on some of the board options that we have for training that they have. And then we'll do another breakout session. And then we'll round out our speakers with Gilman Partners. Angel Beats will go over some of the amazing job opportunities that they have. And then a little bit later, Kelly Bono will be on right around 8:15, 8:20 or so, and she'll speak about some of the grants for Main Street Ventures. So if she's not on by the time we get there, we'll do the networking session, breakout room 3 first. So we'll kind of flip those just based on where we are. But that's kind of the agenda for tonight. And we look forward to hearing from everyone. So a little bit about us. Black Achievers' mission is to connect, educate, and economically empower the African-American community. We started in 2018, became a 501c3 in 2020. I'm a native of Cincinnati. I'm a West Sider, went to Elder High School. I'm a UC grad, a mechanical engineering degree, owned a website development company for about 15 years. And I'm currently an IT project manager at Fifth Third Bank. And as you see in that photograph, that was at First Financial Bank, and we are looking to do one of our next in-person or first in-person events since the pandemic back down there if possible. So we'll be communicating more information about in-person in September and go from there. But we're excited to get back to those types of events. So our board of directors, myself, David Yoha, and Leandra McFadgen. Some of our advisors are Carl Satterwhite, Mary Stagman, and Bill Tucker. And some of our major donors who's invested in us very early on, we'd like to just say thanks to them is Philip Holloman, Alicia Kittner with Archwave, and Scott Provinger. So a little bit about our traction and where we are. We have 4,000 Black professionals as members throughout the greater Cincinnati tri-state area. And we've actually grown since then. So we're about 4,600 now. We have about 540 Black business owners, and we have 2 programs that we'll go over here in a minute. So if you're a business owner or somebody who wants to start a business and you just have even an idea, we have a business academy to help you get that idea off the ground. And then also we have about 15 community partnerships. So if you work at an organization and would like to partner with Black achievers in the DEI space, please let us know and we'll reach out to them. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of go over is Black Achievers Business Academy, which was a huge success. So we had a 9-week program where we graduated 9 individuals. I'd like to go through their names real quick. So we had Kay Gravenson from Career K LLC, Christian Brown from Hypernova Technologies. We have Nina Stiles from Cadre Solutions, Charles McLennan from Networking Business Credit, Jonathan Avant from Stack LLC, Joshua Hill from Synergy Life, and Jalea Stowers Grimes, JSG Project Services, Matthew Cohn from Cohn's Graphics, and Will Carter from We Prosper. So we had a big celebration with them as far as graduation. They all were able to network with each other, a lot of peer-to-peer networking going on. And then also during that 9 weeks, they were able to hear speakers, inspire them, and to motivate them to push their businesses to the next level. What we do is act as a pipeline for a lot of the major accelerators out there like Aviatra and Brandery and Bill Tucker at Flywheel. And we had a lot of them come in and speak. So it was very exciting for these individuals. And we're going to develop an alumni program, which will put them in front of a lot of you so you can support their businesses and start to promote them throughout the network. So when you see them come up on your feed or through our newsletter, please reach out to them for their services and support Black-owned businesses, which is a major pillar of what we're trying to accomplish. All right, so if you are interested in the Fall Business Academy, it starts in October. So we're taking applications right now. Cohort size is usually 5 to 10 businesses. It's a 9-week curriculum. So the business plan, pricing, sales, funding, and then we have an ultimate pitch day at the end. So that's very exciting. And then we meet typically via Zoom, 7 to 9 p.m. We may have some of those in person, just depending on how things change over the next few months. You do get to meet advisors, mentors, investors, and you learn from experts and you get to network. So if any of you have a small business or you have a family member that has a small business, and it doesn't matter if you have a full-time job and you're just doing something on the side, that's kind of the people that we're helping most. So no business is too small. Send an email to academy@blackachievers.com, and then we'll send you out an application. And during the application process, we will, basically go through what the details are and get you signed up for the October. And it's a great way for you to not feel isolated in trying to go after your dreams of business ownership. All right, so the second program we have is called the Business Acquisition Institute, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Christopher Bennett to kind of go through the details of what that looks like. So Chris.
Thank you so much, Michael. Welcome, everyone. So glad to have the opportunity to speak and just engage with each and every one of you. I am Christopher Bennett, for whatever that means. You get a little bit about me, but what I tell people, I am Aaron and Owen's dad. I'm Marisa's husband, and I'm a connector. I was brought here, so I am a transplant into Cincinnati via a local soap company known as Procter & Gamble. But what has me here in partnering with this organization is a phenomenal opportunity to open up a pathway to generational wealth that otherwise is a much more difficult path to journey. If you would just go to the next slide, Michael. what I am tasked with stewarding over is our Business Acquisition Institute. Before we kind of talk through the bullet points and the overview of the program, let me just give you guys a flavor of the genesis that brought us to where we are today. In surveying our membership, what we found was amazing, talented individuals, many either mid-career or C-suite in their respective industries and journeys, who had the capability, who had the tools, who had the skills to actually lead a company or organization, who were also interested in entrepreneurship, but didn't really have a pathway that they felt comfortable in getting there. They had done well in their chosen endeavors. So to be completely honest, there wasn't a lot of desire to build something from the ground up per se, but they still had an entrepreneurial spirit or drive to actually step into a role and lead a company to actually grow and have great impact, and also grow and have great impact on their wealth. And so out of that came this opportunity to create an experience that would help facilitate that transition of an individual who has the entrepreneurial drive and spirit, has prerequisite skills and experience to have the right partnerships, the right awareness, education, and training to transition into being an owner of an actual business. And so that's what leads us to how we've structured our program. What I would tell you at a high level is our program is really defined and structured in 3 lanes. Number one, we take you through a discovery process with our Acquisition Institute. What does that mean? That means we sit down and we think very reflectively on why you're making this decision. As you guys know, we all have friends and family that love to talk about being business owners, but as many of you guys have experienced in actually leading organizations and businesses yourselves, that is not always a rose-colored glass experience. And so what are your motivations in really making a transition of this magnitude? And will those motivations hold you when you have to make payroll, when you're thinking about acquiring an additional business, or you're making a substantial change in your organization, how you will manage people? What is going to keep you motivated to continue to lead at this level with a sizable business? Number one. Number two, when we talk about discovery, what is your end? Beginning with the end in mind. Why are you buying the business? Is this something you want to buy for 5, 6, 7 years, improve, build up, and then sell? Or is it something you want to leverage as a legacy builder for your family? How you think about your exit determines what's a great fit for your buy. So we have an entire 3 to 4 week course as a portion of our course, which goes through the discovery. Then we step into the transaction. And this is typically our more meaty part of our program, where we actually get into the nuts and bolts of how do I buy a business? Beginning with, how do I initiate a conversation with a letter of intent? How do I then step through evaluating that business by looking at the profit loss statement? What are some of the things I should be looking out for? More importantly, who are the partners I should have wrapped around me in this experience to help me really understand that this is a good business for me? And then we go for the close with the tail end of our program, which we call the transition. This assumes that you are in a position now where you have identified a business, you're very clear about your exit. Now you're going into the nitty-gritty of managing that business. How do I wrap myself around with an advisory that helps me kind of fill in gaps in my skill set or my blind spots? How do I think about managing my executive team within the business? How do I think about sparking culture change? How do I think about really listening as I walk into the doors of that business? So we take you through this program as a foundation to really get you positioned to accelerate in not only buying a business, but finding a business and really getting a great start to be successful. And so getting back to the specific details of the Institute, it is a 9-week program. I was told by one of our cohort members that it felt more like an MBA class at times, but I took that as a compliment because we're giving you guys something meaty to kind of help you get through the experience. Our intent, to be just completely frank, is we want you to buy a business and not a job. And because of that, when we talk about sizable businesses, we're looking at businesses with revenues north of $1 million, with EBITDA between, call it $1 million, $2 million, just simply meaning that there's enough meat on the bone for you to be able to take care of yourself and invest in your business to grow it. Typically, we're targeting businesses that do not have a fully baked succession plan, meaning that you had an owner who's built a business and the kids don't want it, and they don't necessarily have anyone within the business who could take the baton and buy. And so there's a huge opportunity that's currently happening right now in our history, and we are doing our best to position our people to take advantage of it. This opportunity is going to be something amazing, not just for those who are buying the business, but through our network, those who want to passively support those who are buying the business. So with this experience, we're also creating opportunities for our network to support you in actually acquiring a business to really transform your life and the lives of others. Next slide, Mike. I want to take a second to celebrate the 3 individuals who are a part of our inaugural cohort. These individuals have been absolutely amazing. I'm just going to call out their names. We have Jennifer Ingram, I saw her early on the call, Andre McCaster, as well as Micah Yoha. They have started the journey and have really started this trailblazing experience to kind of help us not only set the stage for the cohort that will follow them, but also be the pioneers to kind of really provide salt to this process of really being able for us to identify individuals in our professional network, provide them with the prerequisite awareness, training, and partnerships, and enable them to go excel in their dreams in terms of actually owning and building a business. Next slide, Michael. So as I shared with those individuals when we first got started, this on a much deeper level is a call. There will be some challenging days. There will be some tough nights, but we're accustomed to that. But the journey is well worth it. And the number one thing that I tell people is that the intent of this experience, the intent of this partnership between Black Achievers and our entrepreneurs is such that you know that you're never alone. And so what do we simply provide through this experience? Number one, we're providing education, the how-to of executing a transaction. Number two, we're going to help provide capital. So if you're looking at a $10 million business, you don't have to forego that opportunity because you just don't feel like you have enough money. We're going to solve that. We're providing access to trusted partners, attorneys, CPAs, business brokers, et cetera, to help you identify the right opportunity, but also give you a team to help you go deeper into an opportunity through due diligence to see if this is the opportunity that's right for you. And we're doing this because not beyond it being the right thing to do is what we need to do as a community. So as we talk about economically empowering African-American community, specifically here, starting here in Cincinnati and expanding nationally, business ownership is one of the major levers that as a community we don't tap into to the extent that we could. So if you have any questions, would love to be a part of the fall cohort, or just want to learn more, please reach out to us at Institute at Black Achievers. We would love to continue the conversation. We would also love to have you in our fall cohort, and I'm sure the alumni would love to also coach and partner with you in your journey. Have to give a special shout out to our key partners, the Regional Chamber of Commerce, who's going to be playing an instrumental role in helping us provide capital to the deals, and also another very huge partner in the Gehring Center here in Cincinnati, who has been absolutely critical to helping us identify partners to help us educate and provide awareness, but also partners to help you in your deals. So definitely would be remiss if I didn't mention that. And with that, Michael, I will pass it back to you. And you're on mute.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Appreciate that overview and your cohort. And that's amazing that we have 3 individuals who are going through such an amazing program and really can help, change Cincinnati for the better. So we're going to go ahead and start our first breakout session. Like I said before, these are sponsored by Interact for Health and the Carol Ann Hale Foundation. So we're going to have COVID conversations, and we'll be having these conversations throughout the next few months in different venues and mediums. So you'll start having those come out, because we really want to kind of find out where our membership are with the vaccine and return to work and just everything that we've all been kind of traumatized by and now are coming out of. So we want to, get a pulse check. So also during this time, we want you to connect with each other as well via LinkedIn and things of that nature. So I'm going to let Mr. David Yoha kind of take you through the steps and process, and then he'll break you all out into breakout rooms, and then we'll come back and hear from our sponsors.
Well, thanks, Michael. Thanks, Chris. Excellent information, and those programs are really amazing.
I had the opportunity to sit through pitch sessions for the Business Academy, and they did an excellent job. My name is David Yoha, and I want to quickly mention that we are a membership-driven organization. So I would like to invite anyone who's not yet a paid member to join if you see the value. A few quick benefits of becoming a paid member. You can be part of our leadership team. You can support our nationwide growth, and we can keep doing events like this, and we'll start to do in-person events like Michael mentioned. If you have any questions or want to join, just send an email to membership@blackachievers.com, and then we'll take you from there. Okay, well, let's get to the networking. The session, the question for this session is, have you taken the COVID vaccine yet? Why or why not? And these sessions, this breakout rooms are the DNA of Black Achievers, helping people network, connect. That's the way it works. So everyone is going to be randomly put into groups of 4 or 5 in a breakout room. The objective of the breakout room is to get to know each other and answer the segment question. So you have some flexibility, but this is kind of what we recommend. Each person in the room spends 30 seconds quickly introducing themselves to each other, what they do. And then they spend each person spends 1 minute answering the question. You can take a little bit longer, but usually 1 minute is good as a conversation starter. And then you spend 1 minute discussing in more detail or any opportunities. And when the breakout room is ending, it's about like 30 to 60 seconds. You can exchange information. And we usually recommend using LinkedIn. That's probably the best way to connect. A few important tips: when you get into the breakout room, be sure to unmute yourself. You get automatically muted. And you can always leave a breakout room for any reason. So I'm going to start setting up the breakout room. So kind of get ready. And remember, the session question is, have you taken the COVID vaccine? Why or why not? So just give me 1 second.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Janice Liebenbach. I'm the Director of Equitable Arts Advancement and the corporate giving side of the campaign for ArtsWave. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I have a very short presentation. I just truly want to thank everyone who participated and made a donation to the campaign. It's not too late if you still want to do so, but what I will tell you is that we feel and we're very hopeful that we will make the $11 million goal that we set out in the beginning of the campaign. So thank you everyone who participated and gave to ArtsWave. We appreciate it. We last week, thanks to the Circle of African American Leaders for the Arts, whom I've talked about at previous events, have announced that our second round of grants for African American arts organizations just went live. Last year, we were able to give away 18 grants for a total value of $255,000. We just launched our second grants program from that class, and you can, if you are interested in applying, this is for arts organizations. So if you have friends, family, please share. All you need to go to is artswave.org/apply, and you would be able to find the grants program made possible by ArtsWave's Circle of African American Leaders for the Arts. Now, I'm here tonight because I want to talk about our Truth and Reconciliation project grants for Black and Brown artists. Again, you've heard me talk about this. You've probably seen this in our blog posts, etc. But last year, for the first time, we made available grants for individual artists because we wanted to make sure that artists were working during the pandemic. They were individuals, not part of an organization, and specifically Black and Brown artists. So we launched a grants program. We asked artists to submit proposals to us on the themes of truth and reconciliation. We absolutely wanted artists to tell us, their truth, so to speak, and then also if there was a path towards healing through their art. And we received 54 thoughtful application. We awarded 27 grants. We invited the 5 artists you see on your screen: Annie Ruth, Anupa Murrell, Adebola from Biokoto, Don Sherman from Black Theater Company, and Kathy Wade. And then 20 22 on your screen went through a competitive process and they all received grants. Now I'm sharing this because these artists have been hard at work for nearly 6 months on their projects. And in July 16th, 17th, and 18th, we want to celebrate them in a big, big way by throwing a showcase together. July 16th, these artists will open their visual arts exhibition at the Freedom Center. It will run from July 16th to October 31st. On the 17th, we will do all the short films and the video screenings of some of the artists. And that's between 11 and 5 p.m. on that Saturday afternoon. And then on July 18th, on Sunday, we will have a live performance showcase at Memorial Hall OTR. And you will see Awadajan Pratt, Aaron Fung, who's a clarinetist. You'll see David Choate, who composed the piece with Dance. The list goes on about what these artists have done. And all you have to do is go to artswave.org/showcase to learn more about these artists and when they will perform or what their piece is and how you can participate. Again, as I said, we really want to celebrate these artists in a big, big way. So we are inviting you to come out on that weekend. We will probably send you a formal invitation via email. Alicia Kidner will write that email for us. But please come out and celebrate these artists. They have done such tremendous work, and we are just so grateful for the experience. First time with individual artists that we funded, and again, beautiful, beautiful work, and truly fitting to the theme where everyone was able to share what 2020 meant to them with the pandemic, with all the health and racial injustices that went on, and how they feel their art is helping them heal through the process. So again, July 16th, 17th, and 18th. For more information, visit artswave.org/showcase. Please come out and help us support these artists. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you, Janice. That's amazing.
Hey, Michael, but can I say a couple words before we shift gears here? So I'm Sam Moore, and Janice mentioned the Circle of African American Leaders for the Arts. That's a organization that I am also part of as part of that steering team, along with Janice. And in what she just shared was a good example of the kind of work that team and Circle members, both between their contributions as well as their efforts, are ensuring happens within our community. I think for so many of us that live in the Cincinnati area, one of the things that we want and we seek and we all talk about is trying to make sure that there's arts, there's music, there's all of those things that are here for us, and we don't have to run to Chicago or to someplace else to get our fill of artistry that represents us. And so what I would just really advocate and encourage you to do is to, one, also on the website, learn more about what the Circle is all about. I definitely encourage you to join the Circle via your donation, to your contribution, and be a part of helping to shape the art that both exists within Cincinnati and supporting the artists that are here, but also for bringing artists, nationally known, et cetera, artists to Cincinnati area for the benefit of us all. So again, I just want to throw that out there, and thanks, Michael, for a few extra words, man.
Hey, no problem. Thanks, Sam and everyone. All right, appreciate that. We're going to move on to Jenny Berg. Dave, I guess you've made her co-host, and Jenny, you can share and walk us through the BOLD program.
Thanks, Michael. And can you hear me okay? Because it's pouring down and thundering and lightning here. So
no, we're okay.
All right, great. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining Michael and his great group tonight from all over the country, which is super. You always draw a big crowd, Michael. I'm always impressed. And so I just want to talk to you for a few minutes about our board program. So the BOLD program, which is Board Orientation and Leadership Development, is a program, a signature program of Leadership Council for Nonprofits. And let me tell you a little bit more about Leadership Council, but mostly we're going to spend our time tonight on BOLD. But Leadership Council has been around for over 40 something years, and we are here to serve the nonprofit community and by providing resources, by providing connections to other nonprofit leaders, as well as fabulous resources in the for-profit community that can help nonprofits and do help nonprofits. We have almost 250 nonprofit agencies within our network, and we're continuing to grow. And I always like to point out that the nonprofit network is bigger than most people really think it is. We represent about 10%, at least 10%, varies by state, but in our region, in Ohio region, we represent about 10% of the workforce. So that's an important thing to note. So if you don't already work in a nonprofit or serve on a board of nonprofit or donate to a nonprofit, you're missing out because they're all great opportunities. But one of the things we want to talk about is our BOLD program. So BOLD was started by the United Way in 1991. And in 2019, the program transitioned to Leadership Council for Nonprofits. And we've really been working to grow it, the programs for the past 2 years. We've, like everyone else, we've had to pivot a lot in how we deliver the program. So we've been delivering it virtually for this past year, a little over a year now. And we just actually last week graduated our 6th BOLD class. If anybody is a BOLD graduate, please put a shout out in the chat. We'd love to hear it. Actually, the breakout room that I was just in, Robert Lamoth was shared that he was a BOLD grad from a while ago when it was with United Way. So it's fun to be part of the BOLD community. And our purpose is to really help educate, empower, and connect our BOLD graduates into the nonprofit boards. And the statistics of diversity within nonprofit boards is very small. And unfortunately, it has not changed much over the past 30 years. So we're trying to make a difference there. And we want to make sure that, again, all of our board members are educated as they serve on the board, because there's a lot more to serving on a board than a lot of people realize. I know there's a lot more to a board than when I first joined a board the first time. I didn't know half of what I was getting into. So it's good to go in with eyes wide open about the responsibilities of being a board leader. And we're really working to advance the community with our BOLD board leaders. It is interesting, like Chris Bennett's Institute, it is a 9-week program, and it goes through all the essentials of being a board member, the legal responsibilities, nonprofit finance, which is different than a lot of for-profit businesses, strategic planning, the importance of that, the role of the board in that, the role of the board in fundraising, and we also have a cultural competency piece on week 7, and then succession planning. And we do one of that program with our Gilman partners who are on the call tonight. And then we have a graduation, which we got to do BOLD 6 graduation in person, even though the class had never met each other prior to that. So that was a great opportunity to get together. It's also a great networking opportunity. And so if you're an employer, you might want to consider sponsoring your own employees to go through the BOLD program, because it's a great way for these individuals to learn new skills, to make a greater network and build in the community, in addition to certainly serving the community and giving back to the community through their BOLD service. It's also a great opportunity to let the employees develop, as I mentioned, additional skills. Perhaps they work in an accounting firm, but they want to be involved in the marketing plan on a nonprofit. It's a great skill to add to your own employees' toolkits so they can be a better employee for you. So there's advantages to the employee, there's advantages to the employers, and there's certainly many advantages into the to the community to have a great board leadership within our. We have over 10,000 nonprofits in this community, and there's a lot of board seats open and available for folks. So we've worked with Cincinnati Chamber and developed the Sea Change class, and have developed a toolkit that we use to help, that any nonprofit can use to help, think about how they can recruit and include board members into their own nonprofit. We have some great graduates. This is not an inclusive list, but we do have, I'm sure some of these folks are Black Achievers members already, but these are some folks that have gone through our program and have graduated in some of the boards that they're placed on. I'll mention one specifically, Tanya Mack, who is a P&G'er. I'm sure there's P&G'ers on this call today, but her husband is just recently, who also is a Bold grad, he just was recently in the news, and Michael, you should feature him sometime. What a great story. Look him up, Dion Mack. He really helped, he's a police officer, and he really helped to diffuse a very stressful situation just last week. Anyway, so these are some great Bold leaders that we have. And as I said, this is not an all-inclusive list, but some of the things that our graduates are saying was just how much they learned. One of the gals last week said that she doesn't like to learn. She really only came to learn about the nonprofit finance, but she learned so much more than that, and really gained an appreciation for the various nonprofit leaders and the nonprofits that do the work. And so just want to mention that, it's a great opportunity. Our Bold 7 and 8 applications are open on our website, and it will start in August 12th, I believe. Don't quote me exactly, but I think it's around the second week of August for our Bold 7 class, and then our Bold 8 class will start about mid-October. So great opportunity to get to know, expand your network, just like this is, and to learn a lot about being a great board member. Happy to take any questions, or feel free to send something to me in the chat. Thanks, Michael.
Hey, Jenny, thank you so much for all the great information and all the success that you guys are having with the network.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on, Dave, to the next breakout.
Okay, well, thanks to our sponsors for sharing their amazing news and partnership opportunities to our members. And the Bold program is something that I know a few of our members are planning to join this year, so it's exciting stuff. So let's get to the networking. So the segment question is, how do you feel about the return to office as we're moving past COVID? And the format is the same. 30 seconds for each member to quickly introduce themselves in the breakout room, 1 minute to answer the segment question, and then 1 minute extra to have to discuss any opportunities or anything else that you might want. And then as the breakout room is ending, then you can exchange information, your LinkedIn information or phone, whatever makes the most sense. 2 tips: be sure to unmute yourself, and you can always leave the breakout room for any reason. And I did want to mention, yeah, so that's it. So so everyone can get ready as I prep the breakout rooms. So give me a couple seconds to make sure everything's lined up.
How'd that go, guys?
It was good.
Great conversations.
It was really good. Something there.
Okay. All right, David, you there?
I am.
All right, we got Angel.
It's twin.
I'm here.
All right, I don't know if you can share. We're gonna hear from Gilman Partners, Ms. Angel Beats, about all the amazing thing you're doing.
Thank you. Well, I'm actually going to take a little bit of a different spin this time. I've been to several of your meetings. I always enjoy them. And I'm going to give a quick shout out to our newest team member, Joel McCauley, who's on the call tonight. He's going to join as a member too, which is really fantastic. We have talked in the past about all of the job opportunities that Gilman Partners has, and those job opportunities get posted on the Black Achievers LinkedIn page. They're posted in your newsletter, and we love to have applications from all of you guys for the jobs that we have coming out, new ones every few days lately, it seems, with all the employers hiring. But another big part of what Gilman Partners does is leadership development. And we have a program called GP Elevate that's really focused on preparing leaders for executive roles. And it's a 6-month program. You can read more on our website. I'm not going to give you a commercial for that tonight. But what I want to do in the next few minutes is just quickly talk about some leadership tips. As you all are growing and developing in your careers, moving up into senior executive leadership positions, I want to talk about some of the things that leaders need to think about starting to do or stopping as they move into executive positions. One of those things is to stop making advice your default. You know, a lot of us, as we grow in our careers, really appreciate being needed by our teams. And we love it when they come to us and they want to seek our advice and hear what we have to say. But as leaders, we also risk teaching our team members how to grow and develop themselves when our automatic response is to give them advice. And so it's important, especially when you're working with younger team members, to step back and really think about, do they need me to answer this question immediately? Or can I provide them some other alternatives? For example, can I ask a question that gets them thinking about a solution themselves? Can I just stay silent and let them talk a little bit more and work out the problem themselves? Can I offer support? Just saying, I'm with you. I really believe you can solve this problem. In either case, I think let's just not make advice immediately the default and really allow our team members to get some of their own experiences. On the other hand, it's time to start defining what our team needs to do and not how to do it. And what I mean by this is that so many of us have grown in our careers by really working hard, and we're proud of the work we've done. But the way that we have done that work isn't necessarily the only way the work can get done. I read once that as long as you believe the work can get done 80% as well as you would do it, you should delegate it to someone else. And I think for those of us who are kind of control freaks, 80% sounds like a really maybe too low of a number, but the reality is we have to learn to delegate. And when we delegate, we have to give that responsibility to our teams to figure out how to solve the problem, as long as we give them the end goal they're trying to work toward. And if we tell them exactly how it needs to get done, I think what we're doing is we're losing out potentially on creative solutions that our organization could really benefit from. Third, I would encourage us all, and I am so guilty of this, so I will tell you that first of all, stop processing all of our thoughts out loud. The higher you move in an organization, the more likely it is that people listen to what you say and want to go act on the thoughts that you have. And that is simply because they really are motivated to move ahead in their own careers and to make you happy. And so those of us who really like to collaborate, who like to share our thoughts out loud, might just be processing an idea, might be brainstorming something that we hadn't yet considered. But the challenge here is that if we don't frame that to our team as brainstorming, what happens is they think we might really want them to act on that, and they go off and do it, when in reality, we were just processing ideas. So if you're someone who likes to talk ideas out loud with a team, and again, I do this a lot, I think the key here is to say to your team, let's just talk about some ideas, let's just brainstorm. And after you finish that discussion, be very clear about which ideas were simply brainstorms and which ones you'd like them to go act on, just so there's no confusion and no wasted resources and time going on there as well. And then stop asking for feedback and then giving your opinion. We've all heard that feedback is a gift, and sometimes it's one of those gifts that you'd like to just give back, right? It's hard to take difficult feedback sometimes, but in reality, we know how hard it is to give tough feedback to someone when they ask for it. So when you ask someone for feedback and you truly want to hear what they have to say, if they share their feedback and you immediately attack and you immediately tell them why that feedback is incorrect, what you're doing is creating a culture where people don't feel comfortable sharing feedback with you. And although that might sound great as a leader that you always get your way, ultimately it's not, because you want to create a culture where everyone does feel comfortable sharing feedback and bringing their opinions in. So truly the best response to any feedback, at least initially, whether you agree or disagree, is thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I know that was difficult. I appreciate your honesty. And then you could have a conversation too about what led to that feedback. But ultimately, responding with an immediate rebuttal is not going to be helpful to you. Last but not least, stop trying to win. And this is difficult for those of us who are really competitive and love to see the win. What I'm not telling you to do is step back and not care. What I'm telling you though, is that as you move up in an organization, the wins are less about you and more about your team. And so it's less about your individual wins and your contribution and more about what you do to support those around you, getting some team wins, because that's what's really important to the organization. So really resist that urge to make the wins about you and keep them about your team as a whole. Again, Gilman Partners is proud to be a sponsor. We love coming to your meetings, Michael, and meeting everyone that we do. We hope that you will look for our jobs in your newsletter, on social media, and apply for those jobs which you think you're a great fit. You can sign up for our weekly jobs emails at gilmanpartners.com. We have a candidates tab. You can sign up to see all the new jobs we post every week. And you can learn more about GP Elevate on our website as well.
Thank you so much, Angel, for all that great information, and everyone. We're going to move on to Miss Kelly Bono with Main Street Ventures. Hey, Kelly.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good. We're going to let you share, I think, if Dave, if you already got her set up.
Perfect.
All right. Take it away, Kelly.
All right, it is telling me I'm still disabled, but I have this pretty much memorized. So
Kelly, well, Dave is, he's going to make sure you're.
Let me see. I thought I made you a co-host. Let me see.
Oh, good. Like I said, if it doesn't work out, I've got this memorized. So
I'm sure, but we'll get it. We'll get it. Go ahead, Dave.
I think that was me. There we go.
Okay.
That was me.
Okay. So you can share now?
I can share now. Here we go.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here again. I echo Angel and saying that, you know, it's such a pleasure to always be here at these meetings. And I knew I was going to do this. 1 second, sorry. But as I'm setting this up, my name is Kelly Bonnell. I am with Main Street Ventures. And apologies, some of you may have seen me here before, and you may see, you know, a similar presentation to what I presented last time. Are you guys still seeing my presentation screen, my presenter screen? Sorry about that. Okay, 1 second. Oh my gosh, sorry guys.
There you go.
Was that doing it? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it was fine.
Looking like it was on the wrong screen, but that's, you guys see the presentation, right?
Yes, we do. Looks great.
Okay, sorry. When you do the split screens, right, it shows the presenter slides on one screen. So I didn't want to bore you guys with that. But anyway, Main Street Ventures is a very proud sponsor of Black Achievers in this program. And we're so drawn to it for everything that this program stands for, but specifically to the new institute that is focused on, you know, the pre-accelerator, getting entrepreneurs into accelerator programs and ready for pre-accelerator and accelerator programs. So we're super, super excited to sponsor that. And this is so timely for us to be here right now because Main Street Ventures exists to provide equity-free funding to promising startups in the greater Cincinnati region. And Greater Cincinnati includes Northern Kentucky. So if you're in Kentucky, you are absolutely included in this. And it's very timely because our application for our next cycle opens up tomorrow. So check us out online. And I'm going to go a little bit through who Main Street is, and I'll touch on our application a bit as I go through this. Main Street Ventures has been around actually since the year 2000. I refer to us as the OGs in the Cincy startup ecosystem. In the year 2000, just real quick history, we started as really the first tech hub when internet cafes were a thing. Some of you may remember, I certainly do. We were almost the first internet cafe for tech entrepreneurs in the city. And then fast forward to 2010, our founders came together and said, hey, you know, the needs of the entrepreneurship community keep changing and keep evolving. And we think we need to provide some education and also some connections that the founders could provide to our entrepreneurs. And so they came together and formed the Brandery, which some of you may or may not have heard of, but the Brandery quickly came on to become a nationally ranked accelerator program in the city. And we ran it for about 8 years until 2018. There was a study that came out by the Kauffman Foundation, which is a nationally recognized foundation focused on, entrepreneurship and furthering entrepreneurship and small businesses in the United States. And they came out with a survey that cited 83% of entrepreneurs cite lack of access to capital as the #1 reason why they don't start their businesses. It's the #1 barrier. And we had the means at Main Street Ventures to help close that gap in the greater Cincinnati area. And so we refocused ourselves in 2018 to provide equity-free funding in the form of grants to promising entrepreneurs in the startup or in the greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky region. And so we started with our LEAP grant, which I'll touch on in a minute. And that's what really is our flagship program for this new pivot for us since 2018. And then in 2021, we have a lot of new exciting things happening in 2021, the first of which is our launch grant. So we now have 2 flagship grant programs that I will touch on in 1 second. Our main focuses for what we provide and what we look to provide funding for is that we want to empower good ideas and founders. We want to attract and retain qualified talent to the greater Cincinnati region. And most importantly to me, it's what drew me to this position, is we want to create a diverse and inclusive ecosystem in greater Cincinnati. To me, I see no reason why greater Cincinnati cannot hold the title in the nation of the most diverse and inclusive ecosystem for startups in the nation. To date, and we need to update this, actually, I was reflecting on this as I was preparing for this presentation this afternoon, because these stats are through 2020. And I think with the addition of our launch grant program in January, we've sort of started to blow these stats out of the water, even since the end of 2020. So I'm super proud of that. But the 2 stats or statistics here that I think are the most important to our city and to our region are that 76% of our grant recipients are considered underrepresented founders. And that's been since our beginning. And what we define underrepresented founders as women and or people of color. And then also really important to our region is that 93% of all of our grantees are still in existence today. So I think it speaks to the power of the entrepreneurship minds in our region, as well as our process and really vetting out those great ideas that we think are going to, continue to add and contribute to our region. And so, as I've mentioned, I've mentioned 2 of our 3 grant programs that exist today, Launch and LEAP. And then our Learn funding programs, I'm not really going to touch on today, but you should know that the Learn funding grant is actually the grant that we gave to Black Achievers to fund and sponsor the organization. So our Learn funding grants go towards sponsoring those nonprofit organizations that are directly impacting and supporting entrepreneurship in our region. But our Launch and our LEAP are probably the most relevant and hopefully the most exciting to you guys on the call. So our launch funding grant, again, just launched in January, but we have seen tremendous excitement and traction since then. But our launch funding is for pre-revenue stage businesses, and it provides funding up to $10,000. And again, it's for pre-revenue stage businesses that have that great idea that they have furthered along. So it's not just, I woke up in the morning and I dreamt this great idea and I want funding for it. It is, you need to have some type of traction in the form of you've done customer validation, you have a business plan, you may or may not have an MVP. We'd like you to be somewhat close to getting an MVP, which is a minimum viable product to test into the marketplace. And so what we look for is that our funding, if you are in a launch stage, in that pre-revenue stage, it's going to go towards furthering or enabling your business to get to the revenue stage, to get to that next level, which takes us to the LEAP funding grant, which is really where we started from, our first grant program. And this is for revenue stage businesses. So a lot of you on this call, I'm sure, may be more in this category than the launch funding grant. And so again, you're at revenue stage, you have a proven concept, right? In the form of customers are coming to you, you have clients, you are earning revenue. You may not be making money, you may not even be breaking even, but you at least have revenue coming in the door. that proves that you have a market there for what you're selling. And the grant award there is for up to $30,000. And very similar to the launch grant, the funding that we would provide is going to take you to the next level, right? It's going to add to your product line, or it's going to enable you to reach a different customer base, something along those lines. And so we are really proud of these two programs, and continue to look for those great ideas, and be able to fund those great ideas. They are going to enable our region, not only the entrepreneurs that we support and the businesses that we support, but as a whole enable our region to continue to grow and prosper in the form of like small businesses that really are the backbone of our economy. And a few examples, we have over, with this last quarter, we are getting ready to announce our Q2 recipients in the next week or so. So with our Q2 recipients, we're well over 30 30 grant recipients since our founding of these programs. But these are just a few. So Valley, Black Coffee, Influ, some of our, check these guys out. Check out our webpage and you'll see a new addition to the site where we've added our founder feature. So I encourage you guys to check that out. And more importantly, go frequent these businesses, go check them out, go see what they're selling, be their patrons. That's really what's going to continue this ecosystem, the startup ecosystem in Cincinnati and the small business ecosystem to continue to grow. So as I mentioned, if you are a promising small business or startup in either the pre-revenue or revenue stage, our application opens tomorrow. This is our website, mainstreetventures.org, but street is abbreviated. You'll see tomorrow morning the application will open. We also hold office hours every Tuesday and Thursday during the application cycle. You'll see a Calendly link on the site to that as well. So feel free to check that out and schedule some office hours times with us. And I would love to see any and all of you during those times. So feel free. Also, you have my email, I believe. So feel free to reach out directly to me if you have any questions. And again, thank you, Michael, for allowing us to be here and to be a sponsor of Black Achievers. Love these meetings as well, and look forward to hearing more from all of you.
Thanks so much, Kelly. We appreciate that. And I'm sure everybody will go to the website and sign up from there. We have just the last networking session or breakout session for the evening, and then our event will be over. So we really appreciate you guys sticking to the end. If you wanted to go ahead and queue up the next breakout rooms, and then we can get everybody into those and go from there.
Okay, well, thanks for the tips and information, Angel and Kelly. Very exciting stuff. This session and actually all the breakout rooms today were sponsored by Interact for Health and the Hill Foundation. So we appreciate all our sponsors and what they help us do. So let's get to the networking. So the final topic today is, why do you think some in the Black community are hesitant to take the vaccine? So it's a very good question. So same thing as I always mentioned, it's the structure is 30 seconds, quick introduction, 1 minute to answer the question, 1 other minute for further discussion. And then you can exchange information as the breakout room is coming to an end. A couple of tips: be sure to unmute yourself when you get into the breakout room, and you can always leave the breakout room for any reason at all. Okay, so let me set things up, and just a couple seconds.